What is up, my fellow Anomaly sheep? The last few weeks has been super interesting. I've been called a trans rights activist light or a trans rights activist in the last few weeks, all because I'm trying to actually share my experiences and defend what is the truth for me. What is the truth in reality for me? First, you guys know I don't believe you can change sex, but you can change how people perceive your sex through altering your appearances via surgery and via hormonal interventions. Some are more fortunate than others, but that's just, if you want facts, that's just a fact. Now, I've been wanting to talk to you guys about just the different changes I've experienced. And we talk about reality online, and we apply the online world as this giant thin film or veil over the outer world and our everyday lives outside of social media. And I'll give an example right now. I was having a small debate with this gay guy, and he was sitting there calling me a lesbian. Sure, fine, logically consistent with being a homosexual, right? But that's online, so it makes sense. I won't sit here and say I'm not a lesbian, but here's what a lesbian means to lesbians out here, okay? Not online. Let me tell you the difference. Before my transition, I would get hit on often by women, lesbians all the time at these bars, and that's because they saw and perceived a woman. Secondary sex characteristics, look like a woman, my voice, all of it, woman. Now let's fast forward. When I'm with my girlfriend, I get dirty looks. I've heard women say that, what is this straight couple doing here? What's this man doing in our bar? I've heard it, okay? And then the dirty looks I get. It's ridiculous, all right? But their perception of me is a man. And that's why I'm trying to tell you guys online, the ones that refuse to listen to transsexuals and want to speak facts and want to speak reality, are just reducing us down to our genitals, to our chromosomes, and to obvious logical consistencies that are online. But human nature and how humans are is far more complex than just how we're being reduced. And me just saying that, you guys think I'm some trans rights activist. First and foremost, most trans rights activists aren't even trans in my sense, in how I am. They're usually just some liberal white man, white woman, black man, who speak on trans issues but never experienced it. Or there's some non-binary, androgynous person who's really using it as a social badge. As some this is who I am. No, you're not me. Stop speaking on our experiences. Please, stop. It's absurd. I'm sitting here telling you guys, when I'm outside of X and outside of all this, how society interacts with me is, in fact, like how they would a man. That's a fact. You want a fact, you want to hear facts, but you refuse to listen to these ones. How society treats me out here is like a man, okay? Before, I could tell you there is a drastic difference in how I was treated before. The gay bars are an example, But you guys need to understand, I'm not sitting here trying to say that I'm a man. I'm not a man. I'm a trans man. Society doesn't need to know that, though. They don't. Every single time somebody goes out there and meets me, I don't need to tell them I'm trans. The whole point is for me to assimilate, to blend in, so no one can tell, okay? Because my perception of myself, society is finally starting to see, all right? And they see that. So that's the whole point. It's just assimilation. I'm not here to bother, violate. You guys use such demonizing words on us, and that's frustrating. And It's not in good faith. You guys don't really care to know us. You just don't. The problem is we don't fit your talking points. And so your idea, your groups, whatever little hives you are, it comes crumbling down. We don't fit either side at all. We're just in no man's land out here. But there are some who pass very well. You can compare Blair White to Lily Tino. How society treats them, even though they both are trans, is drastically different. And we are, in fact, judged and interacted with differently based off of how well we pass. You guys think I'm a trans rights activist for simply telling you guys the labels you're putting on us online. Yes, it's logically consistent. Yes, it makes sense. And yes, I do agree. But I have to disagree to a certain extent because it's just not the same. My girlfriend and I have talked about this. Our relationship, she's been in a relationship with a woman prior to me. Our relationship and how society and how the culture outside of online treats us is like a normal straight couple. Yes, we are homosexuals. If you're just reducing us down to our genitals, we are a homosexual relationship. We are not a lesbian relationship. Even though lesbians are homosexuals, we are not the same as a lesbian relationship. There's not really a term I could put on it because I haven't seen a term be put on a transsexual man with a woman. He passes really well. Can't tell. There's just not a term. But those that are like me, like Buck Angel, Marcus Dibb, and other transsexual men and transsexual women I've spoken to, they know what I'm talking about. They know that there is a social and cultural aspect to our sexuality, to what we are. It's not just reduced to the genitals. Sex is expressed in different ways. People have different fetishes, different paraphilias. They have different things that they're seeking in a relationship, the energy of that person. They want someone more masculine, someone more feminine, someone who's more androgynous. Everybody has their preferences, okay? And when you look like a normal straight couple, everyday couple, society treats you that way. So how we are treated is also an influence on our relationship dynamic. That's just a fact. That's just how it is. But you guys don't understand that because you guys haven't gone through it. And me just saying this, people would think I'm a trans rights activist light. No, I'm a me. I'm a me light. Okay, I'm a me person. And I'm supporting other transsexuals like myself because you guys are refusing to listen to our experiences, refusing to care when it's really our space we're fighting for. My space. Trans rights activists kicked me out and other transsexuals out of our space. And you guys are telling us how we should think, act, and feel, and it's only become about women and children. Transsexuals are affected too. But you guys have lumped us in with the Lily Tinos of the fucking world. We want assimilation. We want to just blend in and be left the fuck alone. But we have values. Being trans is not a value that it's just not. It's just a part of who we are, a medical, neurological condition, some sort of anomaly, whether it's from in utero or if it happened via trauma, and whatever the case may be, reality is, the fact is, here we are. We exist in front of you, completely different than these people who have fetishes, than these people who are doing these things and saying that they're like us. We're not the same. And you guys don't care to make that distinction. And so you guys, when we're trying to tell you guys basically to fuck off, like I've been saying it a lot, it's not like fuck off like that. It's more like just fuck off, like shoo fly. You're just wasting my time. Because you are. You want me to adhere to your thinking. And I'm not. I'm just not. You and I don't have the same experiences. You don't know what I go through. You don't see how the world treats me outside of X. You have zero clue, but you speak like you fucking know. You don't. It's easy to use the Lily Tinos. But people like Blair White, like Buck Angel, like Marcus Dibb, they will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. The way the world treats us, perceives us, because perception is reality for us. If your innate response is to call me a he, you're going to treat me like a he. If your innate response is to call me a she, you're going to treat me like a she. Because that's your perception. And your perception alters your interactions with reality. That's a fact. If you guys want to be about facts, then you guys have to listen to the nuances and stop putting us in these boxes. The reality is, how I'm perceived in society is of a man. That's a fact. And I have witnesses. Okay? I'm not lying to you guys. They don't need to know who I am. They don't need to know my genitals. They're not my doctor, and they're not my partner. I am not somebody who's going to parade around and like trans awareness. I'm not about that shit. I'm about just living my life, taking my medication, minding my business, and being a productive member of society. But you guys want facts, you guys want reality, you want this, and these words are all great online. But out here is different. It just is. And if that's a hard pill for you to swallow, then you're really not about the truth. You're really not about facts or reality. You're just about your idea. And that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. And I'm not going to sit here and baby you or adhere to anything you're going to say because you're not listening to me. If you're going to talk about trans issues, then maybe listen to transsexuals like myself who are trying to tell you guys what's really happening, because we'll all tell you the same thing. But we don't fit your narrative. We don't fit your boxes. Because if we did, it would all it'll crumble down. It would cease. We're just great to use for grifting. We're great to use for you guys to gain followers and start making money. We're just great talking points for you guys. That's all. You guys don't want actual conversation. You just want people to adhere to you. And I'm not fucking doing that. And if you're going to label me and call me all these names, sure, fine. That's fine. But just know you're not about facts. You're not about the truth. If you were, you would know that we're sitting here telling you it's much more complex than just reducing us down to chromosomes and genitals. It is. And unless you've lived it, you don't really understand. But if you don't want to understand and you're trying to speak out on these issues, you really have no right to. Because you're just intentionally and deliberately being ignorant. And I don't have respect for that. I'm kind, but I don't really have respect for people like that. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much. Peace and blessings. Until next time.